Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this here, but the next Minecraft update, it just got like way bigger. Hold on. Let me get in the right fit for this one. All right, right now, down below this video, if you're hyped for this next change, I need you to comment one thing. Resin boy flooded down there. And by the way, boy is a non-gender term, okay? It is Wednesday, my dudes, except today there's no snapshot at all. Instead, we've got a gigantic Minecraft preview with a brand new entire block set, a flower, and a bunch of forest changes and more. Now, this is all coming off of the heels of a brand new announcement that happened only about an hour before the brand new preview dropped, revealing the brand new resin block set and a new flower called the eyeblossom that comes in 2 different forms. I want to kick today's video off with a little bit of a before. This is what the Creaking forest biome looked like 1 week ago. This was the preview that we checked out where they increased the amount of pale moss that would be on the ground, made the trees a little bit more dense, and yeah, to get a baseline, this is kind of what it looked like, minus that brand new darker sky gradient that they added. All right, now, you need to take a seat because here we are inside of the brand new Pale Garden Biome 2.0, moving around inside of this thing pretty much immediately. The new flower that is going to pop up here at last. The name garden is starting to make a little bit more sense. I feel like it could totally use a little bit more flower action, but today is a day about good vibes and hype. Look at this generation of this biome right here. Completely different seed than the first one, but wow, I found the most majestic pale garden tree, I think, of all time. That's wonderful. Alright, now I can't really wait any longer to jump into this thing. We need to just jump into survival and check this thing out. I haven't done this quite yet. So, right off the bat, more creaking will generate inside of the Creaking forest biome. That's a big change. Next up, when this guy takes a damage, allegedly a brand new material called resin will be formed on the tree. So you, buddy, you're taking damage? I think I should maybe be able to see like resin. Oh, there it is. You can see resin forming on the logs of the tree right there. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so wonderful. Whoa, buddy, watch it. This guy has been sped up and is going to deal a little bit more damage now as well. Look at that thing. It's like full sprinting through the forest right there. Dude, you're so weird and creepy. From the looks of things, we've got a brand new animation as well. Excuse me, mobs. If you could all just go away, stop it. Leave me alone. I'm busy. Oh, I've got to see that again. You go ahead and do your walkie thing. Whoa, that's like way more creepy. Beautiful editor. Go ahead and roll that back one more time. Look at that boy and how he sprints towards me. That's so much more creepy. I mean, somebody said it in stream, which by the way, on Friday, 100% gonna be live streaming, testing this stuff out, so subscribe. Yeah, somebody said it in stream, and ever since they said it, I can't unthink it. It's like SCP-096. I love this. That animation is so much more disturbing, but the resin. A little bit of time later, this tree is starting to get covered with resin right here. Now, this resin, it's a new material. It's not actually a new type of log. If I walk up to it and break it with my hand, it breaks instantly. Watch it, buddy. Personal space. If I go ahead and break this thing with a tool, it breaks the same speed. Instant, no matter what, at least right now. Now, once you break this thing, you can, if you wanted to, go ahead and place this down on other blocks, which is really cool. It's a brand new way to decorate your world up, maybe, but there is probably a better way to use this. So if we go ahead and just keep hitting you, we can see right there, the resin is slowly kind of like popping out. It seems like right here, the more that I'm hitting this guy, the more resin that is forming. Interesting thing to note, right here, we have 3 pieces of resin in a single block. If I go ahead and mine that turns into 3 individual pieces of resin. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next step of the operation here today, and that is, of course, mining through this tree. Ooh, look at that. I like what I'm seeing here. Even more resin on the other side. That's pretty beautiful. But we go ahead and mine through the tree. Mine the Creaking heart, just like before. Experiencing. Oh, that's so bad. That's so cool. The Creaking, it twitches a little bit and then goes away now. Oh, no, that's wonderful. Because I still touched that log, the Creaking heart, it's done. So, oh, my, the flowers. Because I didn't still touch it, that Creaking heart is gone just like before, and I got a little bit of experience, almost like a spawner, if you will. Let's go ahead and jump back to the biome, though, and focus on the ground a little bit more, because on the ground, I have these flowers all over the place. This is a new flower called the skeleton. Stop it. Leave me alone. Is this a new type of flower that you're going to be able to find generating on the floor inside of this biome called the skeleton? Stop it. You guys, what do you think? Do skeletons, should they be banned inside of this biome, just not spawning here, or what? Anyways, moving around on the ground inside of this biome, we will find a brand new flower. If I break this flower with my hand, well, then just like all other flowers in Minecraft, you watch it, dude. These things are so creepy. Well, just like normal, when I break the flower, I get this version of the flower. Stop. Whoa, okay. Whoops, that's my bad. But meanwhile, on the other side of things, like in the daytime, first off, that jarring transition, that still happens. That's pretty shocking. Hopefully they can work that one out. But in the daytime, if I take a look at the ground, the flowers, at least some of them, I'll notice that they look a little bit different. If I go ahead and mine this flower now, I get a different version of the eyeblossom. This is a brand new flower that'll be included inside of this next Minecraft update, which, by the way, is still releasing later this year. But it's a brand new flower that has not one but two different variants of this thing. The crazy thing here, too, is these flowers are smarter than you might think. If I place one of these flowers down next to a bunch of other flowers that are closed and give it a little bit of time, well, these flowers are actually communicating with each other, and this flower, the one on the ground that is open, should theoretically eventually close. Or the other way around, if I had a bunch of opened flowers near here, then the flower, it might be convinced to open. Now, for my test right here, this whole closing mechanic right here, or opening on the other hand, it seems to take a little bit of time. I've been standing around over here for like a minute and nothing has happened to these flowers, but I promise you, I guarantee you they can change. But waiting around isn't the only way to change these flowers. If we flip things over to midnight, these flowers, well, they'll actually open up when it's nighttime, at least inside of the overworld dimension, and then they'll close during the daytime. And this opening and closing thing, it doesn't seem to happen instantaneously either. Oh, wow. With this increased damage that the Creaking does, and the other mobs that are going to swarm you at nighttime in this biome, it has gotten genuinely a whole lot more difficult. Oof, also that sound right there. I was kind of in the middle of other things, but that sound, when the Creaking goes away, that sounds so good now. Back over at a little zone, some spoilers behind me, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this new material called resin. If I pick up resin and sliding into a crafting table with this stuff, in a 2x2 formation, nothing. But in a solid 3x3, I get a brand new block called the block of resin. This block is condensable and like uncondensable, if that's the word, meaning like you can uncraft it and recraft it. Listen. Oh, it's quiet. This is a quiet sounding block, at least right now when you place it down. But that's a brand new sound. Unlike what they've done with the pale log, which is still that old dusty sound, the resin block is going to have a brand new placing sound. It kind of is reminding me of like a honey block or maybe the slime block. Oh, that sounds good. Now, when it comes to this brand new resin block, that's sort of the end of the road for it, because if I place it inside of the crafting table in any configuration, nothing else will happen with it. Same thing over in the stonecutter, dropping this there, nothing happens. Instead, you see, if I want to do even more with the resin, which, oh, surprise, surprise, you can do so much more with it. What I'm going to want to do is take the resin clump item and throw it inside of a furnace. Now, in the meantime, while that's smelting up, back over at the crafting table with this eyeblossom flower, if I drop this inside of the crafting table, the eyeblossom, this closed version of it, will turn into great eye. On the other hand, the open version of eyeblossom, that'll turn into orange dyes. So this new flower that they've added to the game, it's sort of like two brand new different types of the flower, which is so cool. The bee right here, this poor unknowing being, it doesn't know any better. If we go ahead and drop the bee next to this flower and let it, oh no, let it try and do anything to the flower, well, the flower is granting the bee poison. Oh, this is so sad. How could they do this? However, interestingly, if I stand on the flower and like interact with the flower, look at it, smell it, take it in, I will never get poisoned to myself. And it seems like this poison with the bee, it doesn't really like kick in until it starts flying away. So I don't know if that's a bug, no pun intended, or like what's going on, but yeah. Another cool new property of this new flower that we've got is a different crafting recipe. So inside of the crafting table right here, if I go ahead and try and make myself some suspicious stew with this new flower, well, first off, I'll be able to actually do it. Second off, I've got two different effects that I'll get. The first suspicious stew that I think I did with the open eye, if I go ahead and eat that, I get a little bit of blindness. That's not good. The other stew that I think I made with a closed eye, I go ahead and drink that one, and I get a little bit of nausea. Oh, that's not great either. Personally love that you can use this stuff to make suspicious stew. Are these new ones? And I can't be the only one that always forgets you can craft suspicious stew in the table, right? And last things last, for this brand new flower, how can you find it if, say, you couldn't find any on the ground inside of this biome? Well, if I bone meal the pale moss, nothing happens, at least when it comes to this flower, which is a little bit of a letdown. Instead, you're going to need to find grass blocks, open grass blocks inside of this biome. When you bone meal it, I don't know if this is just a bedrock thing or what, but ferns grow, but also the brand new flower. And these grass blocks can be any grass blocks inside of this biome that are open. Like, you could have placed these grass blocks down yourself, bone meal it, and you have the chance to get the flowers to grow. Anyways, back over at our setup area, enough time has passed with the resin inside of the furnace. Take a look at that. We've got ourselves a brand new brick. You can smelt the new resin clump item down into bricks inside of a furnace. Now, if I go ahead and swing these bricks over to the crafting table, place these down in a 2x2 formation, I get a brand new brick block. It's beautiful. On the other hand, with the bricks inside of the stonecutter, nothing. It doesn't work quite like that. However, with the brick inside of the stonecutter, I will find not only a slab, a staircase, a wall, but also a beautiful chiseled version of this brick block as well. Spinning around here, every single block set out. First up, we've got that resin block. It's bubbly. It looks like beans. It's like kind of crazy looking. I love this orange tone too. That's going to be so fun to build with. Then we've got orange bricks actually added to Minecraft. This is insane. This update is just leveled up like huge time. The staircase right there, I mean, it's a staircase. The wall, an orange wall. That's wonderful. And the slab as well. Now this chiseled variant, take a look at the picture that you're getting right there. It's so wonderful. You get a little bit of a creaking situation going on that brick. I can't wait to actually have these in the game and build with them. Now, the devs here, they're low-key, high-key genius with this update because look at this. These tones are going to blend so well, and then the white logs as well build the bricks with the pale oak set. Yeah, that's really, really nice looking. This block right here, this is insane too. Like, I don't think, in fact, I know we don't have a block that quite looks like this in the game. Another thing that comes to my mind every time I look at it, I get a different vision, is like scales. It almost looks like you could build a giant dragon or something with it, right? This resin block, or the bricks, listen. Oh, they're a little squishy and sticky sounding as well. The sound right here, it's a slightly different sound than the resin. I don't know, guys, recency bias, but brand new, most beautiful brick in the game. We've got a contender, maybe. Now, of course, brand new brick, one thing that we like to do every single time. When they add a new one, we want to see how it stacks up to the other ones that are in the game. So, of course, right off the bat, you can see that the resin one, it's not really going to line up well with the other bricks, like the tough brick that was added earlier this year. Instead, it's more like the nether brick vibe. Check this thing out. It's a new type of brick that is going to use basically the same texture, the same format as the other smaller bricks in the game, except we do have a subtle difference here. We can see on the nether bricks, we get those smaller square ones down low. On the resin brick, we don't have that. On the chiseled version of this brick, on the top of it, is it different like the tough one? Unfortunately not. We just have the creaking standing in a different orientation. That's a little bit of a missed opportunity, but hey, I mean, I can't complain here today because this thing is so wonderful. But just you wait, there's more. We're not quite done. Back over to the normal resin block. Inside of the crafting table, we have a pale log. We have a resin block. We have a resin block. Okay, I did it wrong. That's the fun of these snapshots and new updates. You like learn it all together here. The creaking heart block, it is now a renewable block, so keep in mind that you'll be able to find this thing and silk touch it in the wild. However, when you bone meal one of these trees, the creaking heart, it'll never pop up on one of the trees like that you grow back at home on your own. Instead here, all we need to do is sandwich a little bit of resin in between some pale logs and we can make ourselves a creaking heart block. I mean, look here, it's obviously not ideal, like you're losing quite a bit of blocks, but it's cool that we're actually able to get one of these things. Then at nighttime, we can have a creaking spawn in and farm the resin. Now, a huge part of the way through the video today, a quick reminder to tap the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. New farms, guides, updates, just like I did for this week. I've got a lot more on the way. There's another thing that we need to spin around and take a look at here. If I went ahead and made these things into bricks and then maybe found my favorite armor trim in the world, slide over to this thing, well, I'll actually find that the bricks don't work, but the resin itself, oh yeah, the resin, it fits in there, and that's a brand new orangey golden. I haven't seen how this is gonna look on armor yet, and I'm going with silence today because this is like the largest one out of all of them, but we've got a brand new armor trim material, and look at that thing. It's orange, way more orange than the copper orange that we would have been able to create before. So previously, same armor trim, same armor type, but different armor material. This was sort of like our orange tone, if you will. This is copper silence right there. This is the brand new one with resin. Wow, that is fire. Guys, this is insane. All of the new additions to today's update, this is what we're looking at right here. All of the resin family, the new flowers, and how we can use resin on quite literally anything in the game. You can place it on like any block and just decorate it up, detail it. That's a brand new path design right there. This update is, I mean, this update is insane. I would have never seen this coming. This is beautiful. Now, alongside those beautiful new additions, we're waiting for them to pop up in a Java snapshot, maybe tomorrow, if not, hopefully next week. However, inside of this update, we also have tons and tons of other polishing and fixes, as well as different creaking biome changes. One of the most curious changes that we have here actually involves the skull catalyst and the creaking. So first things first, let's go ahead and get ourselves a creaking up here. It'll pop in. When I remove this creaking heart right here, well, if it's close enough to a catalyst, the catalyst will actually bloom. Just like that, but no blocks at this point will be converted over because no experience dropped. This is a really, really interesting thing. Maybe you can set up some kind of farm right here that'll be able to like detect when this thing is maybe spawning and despawning or whatever, and at the least being able to see this animation on the block right there. That's really smooth. Did they update this animation too, or am I going insane? Was it always so beautiful? Also, I never know if Mojang sees my videos or what, but it seems like with that sound point that we were really hammering in quite a bit, well, they've upped the amount of sounds that will play inside of this biome as well. From traveling around inside of this place, maybe it's just the fact that the sounds are a little bit softer on Bedrock Edition or what, but it does still seem a little bit quieter than how it is on Java, but definitely way more noisy inside of this forest now, which is beautiful. Another change that we're looking at here has to do with when we grow these trees. I swear that this change was in last week's update, or maybe what it is they went ahead and undid the change in last week's update, but no pale moss is growing, no hanging moss is growing either. I definitely think that one is a little bit lame. The pale moss should totally grow. But resin boys, I think right there, that's where we're going to end it today. What do you think about this brand new Minecraft block set? Do you love it? Tell me what you think about it down below. Tap that like button and subscribe for more. On the end card will be the Creaking update playlist. Check it out. It's been me, Waddles, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.